Hey everyone, what's going on? Cause I'm a Fury here, and I have to talk about Nintendo again because it has become a thing, especially on Twitter and on a lot of YouTubers here, about portability, pricing, and everything when it comes to waiting a long ass time for games that have already been out on a PC or on the rival consoles and justifying it. Like they are actually justifying and totally okay with paying $60 for like a version of that. Like I feel like you personally, I feel like if you're not offering much more than that last version, that version that came out like almost a year prior on the PlayStation 4, on the Xbox One, or the PC, there's no way in hell that it should be totally okay with it being the standard $60. Now, let's keep it in perspective here. We know that a lot of people who own the Nintendo Switch own other consoles for the most part. So they are less vocal about this. It seems like the people who are the most vocal about it and are making a big deal about the whole situation and justifying it and making it seem like Nintendo Switch deserves every port in the world, let alone can handle every port in the world, are the ones over there just complaining about it on Twitter and making a big deal. There's no justification about it. There's no way in hell. All right. And I feel if you are strictly a Nintendo fan, strictly a Nintendo fan, uh, I said in my video about port begging, knock it off. It's not going to happen the way you think. What did Luke say in The Last Jedi? Since people hate that movie, this is not going to go the way you think. It's just not. The system can't handle it. How much more do we have to explain? Just overall, like other gamers. There's multiple platform gamers like myself. And I know the Switch's strengths and I know its weaknesses. And the other ones, you can see it. Like, just stay in your lane because it's not going to go the way you think. You're not going to get all these games that you're port begging about, let alone there's no way you're going to explain to any of us who are multi-platform players that it's totally okay to pimp portability. Yes, pimp portability. That's what a lot of the Switch fans, like the fanboys, not the Nintendo first party fans, the Switch fanboys, are pimping portability. Like, I want to take this on the go. You can't. It's worth paying $60 to take this on the go. If now, if the Nintendo Switch was on the quality, if it had a quality port of a multi-platform game, quality meaning that it had features comparable, it had graphical performance comparable, it had frame rates comparable, it just had the overall multiplayer or whatever, if it applies to the game, if that all was comparable to what was available on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, or the PC, okay then. You can have my $60 for something. But the fact that we have to wait so long, maybe 6 to 8 months, sometimes a year, maybe for a port, and then you expect us to pay $60 again and be totally okay with it for a port, and it's gonna be a stripped down version. And I hear a lot of people say, "Oh well, you can't take the Xbox One version on the go." No shit, Sherlock. All right? Hybrids are not the future. I don't care what people have been saying in other YouTubers' comments. Hybrids are not the damn future. When you telling me that you have a console that's claiming to be hybrid, but it runs better in handheld mode than it does in the dock mode. That is not the future. Okay? Not this version. Maybe down the line if you perfect it. But what we have in my hands and your hands right now currently, that ain't it. Sorry, it's not it. It's not going to be it. Alright? And there's no way how you cannot sit here and pimp portability to me. First off, I am a man of a certain age. The thrill of taking it on a go with me has gone a long time ago. All right? I am not somebody who's going to be sitting on a train playing a Nintendo Switch, especially living in the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, and getting my ass robbed for something like that. No. Let's keep it real. This is for children. Okay? This is for children. And at my age, I can call, if you're under 18, I can call you a goddamn child because you are a child. Okay? Maybe you could put this in your book bag and play this during recess, since most of you kids face it on tablets and games anyway in the first goddamn place. Hell, even as a grown man, most of the time my face is in the fucking phone. I can tell you that. I can admit that as a fact. Okay? But I can put that phone in my pocket and just go about my business like I do 12 hours a day when I'm working. Instead, shit, who am I bullshitting? I check my phone every now and then. You know how many times I put my phone down and play music while I'm doing my task when my boss is not around? Yes. Okay? You will catch me listening to music more than watching something. Why? Because music is sonic. You can just play the music in the background and it can uplift you. It can just take your mind off the task and your body just starts to take over. Especially if you work a monotonous job. Alright? And you just need to get through. Your body is pretty much muscle memory. That music just helps you cope. Whereas I'm not going to be sitting down playing the Nintendo Switch or playing a game on my smartphone. It's just that's not my lane. So back to what I'm saying, this is for children. This is for young children and adolescents and stuff like that, and preteens and stuff. And even early, like even young teens. You could get away with that. And it even depends on where you live too, to let alone to be out there and enjoying that thing. And what you expect me to actually sit under a tree and play a Nintendo Switch and gotta worry about ants and shit where I can just sit in here and play a superior version? Common sense. I'm not going to do the portable version for multiple reasons. Okay? And how is going outside, having a console that can go outside is going to encourage me to go outside? Like, I'm thinking from a child's perspective. What should kids be doing outside? They should be outside doing recreational things, okay? They should be outside having fun, playing sports, something. Walking at least. Getting some kind of repetition in and keeping the heart rate up. Why the fuck would you, unless they are a young child that needs to be distracted, they are 10-year-old or they somewhere between 7 and 10 years old, what is the Switch going to do with them? So you can't pimp portability to a man like myself or other men like me. Some 20, I'm a 30-something. You can't pimp that to a 20-something either. Work is there. We have things we need to take care of. We have bills now. We got responsibilities. So if me and others like me in the 20s and the 30s actually bought a PS4 version, an Xbox One version, there's no way in hell you can get us and convince us that a version, just because it's portable, is worthy of paying $60 again a year later. There's no way in hell that you can convince us that. You could try. You can really try. Okay? And I've thought about it. I didn't want to just sound closed off. I thought about it. I've actually just explained to you the reasons why it just wouldn't work. And it is something that if you are safe, you have safe means of travel, like you're on an airplane, you're on an actual, like, not a public transit train, but you're on a train that goes, state to state train, and you taking a long ride. And yes, something like that would benefit me. But let's keep it honest now. Even with the Switch, even all this, for a person like me who owns one and others my age range that own one, we're playing it in the house most of the time docked, unless we have to go take a shit. Like, I'm gonna just keep it as real as possible. That's a great attribute of the system, that we can actually dock it and we can just go and continue and do what we need to do. But there's no way hell, unless I say it's good for travelers. That's why I actually understand why a lot of WWE wrestlers actually and performers actually have one. And yeah, it is. Like, I'm subscribed to Up Down Down. I'm a fan of Xavier Woods' channel. I watched that grow from 2015 to now and stuff. So they, like, everybody in the back has one. They play on the airplane. They play, like, they link up and play and stuff. Unless you have a safe environment that you travel in and you travel often, I don't see the point of pimping portability. It's just not gonna work for me. I'm not gonna play like it. It has no use to most adults. To most adults who live a normal life, work every day, almost every day, it has no use to us. We're the consumers. We buy the games. Okay? Even for that ungrateful little teenager we might have. And I call them ungrateful, not in a mean way, but hell, I didn't realize the value of having my own and buying my own and taking pride in it until I got older, when I realized, what, now I understand where my parents came from when they were upset that something got broken, because I was reckless with it. Money doesn't grow on trees. Okay? I get it now. That's why I'm very peculiar. Don't come to my house and my collection touching my shit and don't know how to use it. I had a problem with that as well, because a lot of people actually, like, I had a friend who's like, I can't help it, man. I'm curious. You're a 20-something-year-old man at the time. Don't touch other people's shit. My grandmother used to pop the shit out of you when I used to go to other people's house, ask her tag along, and I would touch their stuff. Because my grandmother's not going to pay to replace that, and I don't have the money to. Meaning she had the money to replace it, but she shouldn't fucking have to. You get what I'm saying? But I miss my grandmother so much, man. Oh man, I miss her. It hasn't been the same without her. But family and life goes on. But anyway, like I'm saying, like, it's not going to work. It doesn't work for us like that. It works for kids. If I was a father right now and I had a 10-year-old son and we were traveling for a long distance and I was driving, yeah, go ahead, son. I'll get you this version right here. I'll get you this. This would probably be the only thing they will have in their house. Because I honestly do consider a PS4, even though they have children-friendly games, for a child that young, I really consider a console, like an expensive console like a PS4 and the Xbox One, as something that they would have to grow into. Meaning, like, that'd be something that they would get when they're of age, when they're like 13 and up. will be the time where they actually learning the responsibility of stuff, and I'm actually teaching them things. You know, I'm even wary about giving. I would be wary about having my child with a Switch. They're delicate machines. They're very delicate machines. Any laptop, any tablet of that nature is very delicate. So that's a thing as well. But like I said, it's the market for them. Okay, and I just wish Nintendo would come out the closet, man. And I don't mean that in a homosexual way, but I'm using that slang terminology as for just admit, yo, you just admit that you cater 90% of the catering goes to children. Okay, we have your diehards who have grown up with the system and they love the first party games, but the Labo, are you kidding me? An adult with a Labo, like I've seen videos of them at demoing the Labo at the like at conventions. The Nintendo representative putting that backpack, that cardboard backpack you put together on a grown ass man. It has to be the most cringeworthy shit I've ever seen in my life when it comes to gaming. It was so fucking cringeworthy. Like why? One of my oldest friends, Mike, he's a year older than myself, I believe, is the biggest Nintendo fan ever, and you would never catch him dead and stuff like that. Even he made fun of the Labo that they are selling us cardboard, overpriced cardboard. But does that take away from him being a fan of Nintendo first party? No, it doesn't. But you don't it's to speak out about a company doesn't mean about something you dislike about a company doesn't mean you totally hate the company. All right? There's shit on it's shit that those Nintendo fanboys, the big mouth ones who think that Nintendo dominates the world, the big mouth ones will be quick to tell you how Microsoft has no first party games and is not doing as well, which is fact. They will be first to throw that in your face, or how the PS4 isn't selling like it used to be, because even Sony has admitted that the system has peaked at nearly 80 million console sales worldwide. It has peaked. That's why all this PS5 rumor shit is going on now. And I wouldn't doubt that it's in development and will be out in a few years from now. Because right now they're doing R&D. I guarantee they're doing R&D right now for the next one. Both of them are. Okay? They be the first, but the Nintendo fanboys who I'm talking about, who are online talking about it's totally okay to just basically everything needs to be on the Switch. Why can't it? It can run the Switch, can handle it. It can handle it. It can handle Assassin's Creed. It can handle this. It can handle Call of Duty. It can't. Those people, not the first party fanboys. I already clarified that in the video I did before. The first party fans understand. They like the system for the first party shit. We talking about the fanboys who just think that the Switch can do everything. It can't do wrong, and that it can do every game under the sun. Like, are you delusional? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you that delusional? Do you really think that it can do that? And why hasn't it done it? What I'm seeing, that third party support is starting to dry up for it. And that's not me gloating. Okay? It's starting to happen. It happened with the Wii U. It happened with the Wii before the Wii U. After a while, because you're making something difficult to develop on when it comes to third-party developers. You're making something difficult to develop on. That is Nintendo's fatal flaw when it comes to third-party games. It just is. We've been through this shit way too many times. Okay, it low key started with the GameCube. That's my favorite Nintendo console right now of the past 20 years. The GameCube is my favorite Nintendo console. That's fact. As I look over to my left and I see it right there in all its indigo glory. Hell, I've even done streams of me playing the original Resident Evil remake, not the HD version. I've done that. I've done that to Twitch and stuff. It's amazing. I love the GameCube. But even that in its life cycle, you've seen less. That even in its life cycle, it's still going out and not selling as much. Before it was discontinued, you still see it had far more third party support than the Wii U and the Switch. You know why? Because it was a traditional console. Okay? And let's be honest, the Wii took that momentum and still, like, it had a lot of momentum coming into the fray. It sold like hotcakes. It really did sell like hotcakes. But what happened is that those third party games were not selling. They didn't sell. The third party games did not sell. They sold terribly. And what do third party companies do when they sell, when they don't make profits? They stop developing games for it. And that's what happened. And that seems to be the trend because Nintendo strives to be so innovative that they don't want to play among the rule. They don't want to play within the parameters of this game. And people like, they shouldn't, the fans, them same loudmouth ones, they shouldn't have to. Nintendo is their own thing. They carving away. These just, it should be innovative. These other companies, Sony and Microsoft, just do the same thing. They just clones and stuff. Hold on, motherfuckers. Hold the fuck on. Now, Nintendo can still be innovative as fuck, but you gotta have some guts under the hood. Shout out to J3. J3 said that if Nintendo had guts, they would be showing them off. That's why back 2 years ago at the January Nintendo Japan presentation of the Switch, they weren't showing you shit because they don't got shit to show. And that's not me being a hater. That's me speaking fact. Look what Microsoft and Sony, they show you tech demos and they show you what the system's capable of doing fully when it's time. Hideo Kojima shows you when it's time. When he got something ready, they show you. Nintendo, you can't say, oh, Nintendo wasn't ready. They put out that Switch trailer, the reveal trailer in September of 2015, I believe. Something like that. I'm not sure at the time. Nintendo Switch been out for a year. 2016, I believe. They put out that. Just be yourself and try to have a good time. Remember that bullshit? When they had they just was projecting the screens. None of that was actual gameplay footage. They were just doing like a projected images thing. Remember that one? And then the Japan show, they showed us arms and they showed us 1-2 switch. And they showed you just a lot of stuff. If you want more information, please go to our website. They showed you nothing. Because they have nothing. The system is the Pimp Portability. And it's the Pimp gimmick. Okay? That's just what it's doing. It's done and it's been successful doing that. No doubt it's been successful. But that catches up to them. Like I said, gimmicks only keep people entertained but so long. We need this third party support. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not begging for no fucking third party support as a Nintendo fan. When I own multiple consoles that got the game, got the version of the game, a superior version that wouldn't have hiccups. And like I said, like the theme of this video is that portability don't mean jack shit to me if I'm not the person who benefits from it. And I don't think a lot of people benefit from it. I just think we have a lot of people online who feel like this is the only console they got, so they gotta vouch hard for it. Nobody, it shouldn't, is it a pride thing? Is it that you don't have the other consoles, so you have to focus and drive your goddamn points home, or drive people crazy about it and swear that, yo, well, yeah, it's selling well. It's selling well. It's selling better than the other ones. Whoop de fucking do. The Wii sold better than the Xbox 360 and the PS3. And look how that landed on his face as those other two consoles lived on. Okay? I mean, it sold better at the, what was it, the Xbox 360 and the PS3? Was that the ones out at the time? I believe so. Wait a minute. No. I'm sorry. I get so mixed up because Nintendo always behind in their hardware that you have to compare it to what was out on it. I'm sorry. So if the GameCube was out along with the original Xbox and the PlayStation 2, okay, then after those came the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, and that's when the Wii was released. Yes, okay, I get it now. All right. It's so confusing. I'm confusing myself actually trying to think about it. Anyway, they are always like a step behind in hardware. This is their fatal flaw because of course, these developers are making a high-end version. They study the specs. Any third-party developer, this is what they do. They go out there and like, look, what's the comparable PC? How's PC running right now? How is we got these developer kits for PC games. We got them for the PS4. We got it for the Xbox One. So what are we going to do now? We're going to make a version that's comparable. And let's look at those three I just explained. Those three actually find some common ground. They can probably run nearly identical. They can find a even level for those games, a damn near even level. Some, of course, are going to perform better. They're going to be optimized. But on the standard, they can run they can be developed on an even level. But there'll be some optimization done after, and the Switch doesn't even qualify to be inside of that same development arc. So what does that mean? That third party company has to actually spend extra money to develop a downscaled version. That means they have to strip down. Once they finalize it, once the game is ready for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, they have to take that full version of that game and they have to downscale it. That's why the Switch games take long. That's why they take long being developed. And for fuck's sake, who wants to wait for that to pay $60 if I can, by the time, hell, even if I skipped on the game, let's throw out any name of a game in particular. Let's say, for example, on Call of Duty, okay? So you're telling me that, let's say I skipped on it. Call of Duty just came out right now, at this particular moment, and I skipped on buying it for either PC, Xbox, or PS4. Let's say I skipped out on it now, and then they're like, "Oh, the Switch version is coming 8 months from now." Okay, but look, it's out now. 8 months later, look, it's out now, and it's for $59.99 on the Nintendo Switch, and it doesn't have multiplayer, and it plays like, and the frame rate is an issue. Oh, but look, the PS4 version is $29.99 now, or it's $39.99. What the fuck you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy I'm gonna buy either the PS4 or the Xbox One version, and that's where Nintendo's going to lose when it comes to the third party race. The only thing that will help Nintendo right now is having exclusive third party games, and those are becoming far and few between. So go ahead, people. Y'all can keep on pimping Portability as a means to buy Nintendo, because the third party support is going to dry up And if I wasn't a collector and a fan of Nintendo, God, I love Super Mario Sunshine. Odyssey. Well, I love Sunshine too. I think that was the black sheep of them. But man, I'm looking at the poster right here of Odyssey that I got for buying the game. I framed it and put it on my wall. Man, you know, if the third party, that's the only thing that can keep afloat is maybe exclusive third party games. But those can't run like shit either. You know? Let's face it, you're not getting Ni no Kuni 2. Alright? That was only exclusive to PlayStation in the first place, I believe. So stop asking for that. Alright? Stop trying to shit on God of War for the PS4 and stuff. And try to say how bad of a game it is. When it's not bad of a game. Hell, it's different. It's different than the previous God of Wars, which were basically button mashing, quick time event games. I ain't say they trash, but the narrative of this is like one of the best God of Wars I've seen when it comes from a narrative perspective. Okay? And it switches to combat too. You have to be smarter in combat. You can't just button mash and run through things and stuff. It'll have grand epic battles all the time. That's what they took away from you. You did all that button mashing to get to a goddamn epic battle. Okay? They scaled that back. It's more of a narrative. It's more about wise combat. It's more about evolving the character's attributes. It's all about just watching the story unfold between Atreus and Kratos. But why am I talking about that right now? This is me talking about Nintendo. Oh yeah, it's because I say a lot of Nintendo those fanboys actually were hating on God of War. Okay? They hate on anything that's not Nintendo. And I think sometimes they just downright envious. I don't hear no PS4 or Xbox fanboy talking about God, we wish we had Legend of Zelda. They'd just go out and buy a fucking Nintendo Switch, which most of them do. That's why there's so many people who own the Switch and they own these other consoles, and they just basically don't give a fuck about third party support, because if it ain't on one, they get it on the other. But no, not these fanboys who only have the Switch and be online complaining on every Nintendo themed YouTube comment or on Twitter. Oh, Twitter is the plague when it comes to that. You know, my friend called them Switch bitches. He called those type of people, not the first party fans, he called them Switch bitches. Those who just think the Switch has to have everything and can. Alright? But that's neither here or there. And I think I'm done talking. Alright? This is the first time I've really done a video where I actually wasn't worried about the video. And I can speak just a lot more freely when I can just do audio. So anyway, as always, keep watching what you want. Keep gaming the way you want. And keep being you, because I'm a Fury. I'm out. I will see you when I see you. And to anybody subscribed to me, thank you very much for sticking with me. To new subscribers, thank you so much. It's like, I would rather have less subscribers and more people that keep it real with me and I keep it real with them than a bunch of people who just want to hear what they want to hear, you know? So, peace.